Hi, I see a couple of people have already joined us. I would like you to say, hi in the live comments so I can see your names. It will help me to interact with you. Come on, we want to make it interactive. Just, comment hi in the comment section. I'm going to wait for a couple of more minutes for others to join so that I don't have to repeat many things. You can utilize this time to post any questions you want me to address in this session or simply interact with me in the meantime. So yeah, whoever is joining, please say hi so I can see your name. Okay, Sachin Santoki is saying hi. Hi Sachin. Anyone else? I see 8 people are watching right now. Okay, I see Zarna. Hi. Jasmine. Hi. Sachin is asking, tell me your experience of M.Tech in DIICT and what change you feel after M.Tech. Sachin, I am going to share a few things from my experience at DIICT, but I won't be talking about the M.Tech course specifically because I think Stuti has already talked about it. And if you want to talk about it, you can send me a personal message later after this session. We have Kinjal saying hi. Hi, Kinjal. Okay, I think we are good to go. We have 10 people already, and we hope others join with time. Okay, hi. So I am Himadri. I am the one who has been, bombarding you all with your WhatsApp groups that this particular session is being arranged at this time. Please join. This speaker is live right now. We want to do this Alumni Connect program. Are you interested? What kind of questions you want us, the alumni, to address and things like that. So I think you already know my name and it's visible on the screen. I'm Himadri Pandya. I am 2017 batch student of GEC Bhavnagar. I am right now studying the final semester of M.Tech at DIICT and I am interning at Philips, India. Okay, we have Sanjay. Hi, Sanjay. Um, Yeah, and I have done an internship with Linux Kernel via the Outreachy program last summer, and it also allowed me to present my internship project to the Open Source Summit Europe, which is one of the biggest conference in open source world where Linus Torvalds himself gives a keynote. Fortunately, I could see him in person, I could meet him, I could get a selfie with him, and I also got his autograph. And here, if you can see, this is Linus Torvalds' autograph. Okay, I thought that was interesting to share. Apart from this, I have also been serving as a teaching assistant at DIICT. There I have worked with the third year undergraduate students for the course of computer networks. And I have worked with some faculty members of GTU colleges as part of the operating system course offered under faculty training program, which runs at DIICT. Yeah, so that would be all. Yeah, just one more thing that I am also a member at Developer Students Club at DIICT. So I have closely seen how these clubs work at colleges like DIICT, what kind of structure they have, how they function in general, what is their internal organization, how they conduct events, and why those events are successful, and things like that. Okay. Few things I want to. Okay, hi Muskan. It's nice to see you here as well. Okay. Few things I want to clear before we start is that there are a few things I'll be talking about in this session, and the other things that I won't be addressing in this session is, how to clear GATE, or what is the M.Tech program at DIICT, or anything about Outreachy internships, or anything about Linux kernel development, because all these things are either have been already discussed by other speakers or are going to be discussed by upcoming session discussed in upcoming sessions. So, and I also have some publicly available videos of mine, which where I have already discussed these things. So I won't be touching on any of these things. Focus of today's session is to how to get started with programming and how to build student communities at GEC Bhavnagar. So this particular session is targeting the computer, IT, and EC branches of the current batches. If you are from any hard branch like production, mechanical, or civil, and if you are interested in computer science related like any domains, in that case, yeah, this session might be useful to you, but otherwise this session is not going to be useful for you. So in that case, I don't want to waste your time, and you might want to look forward to the other session, which is specifically targeting for mechanical engineering students. Okay. So I see we have been joined by a few other people. Okay, this is one more chance for you to say hi or put any questions right away before we start. And if we don't have any questions upfront, in that case, I'm going to continue. Anybody? Okay, I don't see anyone wants to comment anything right now. All right. So the session, in my head, I have planned this session in two parts. In first part, I'm going to address how to get started with programming. And in the second part, I want to address how to get started with building student communities at GEC Bhavnagar. Okay. Before I go into how to get started with programming, the first thing I want to address is that why you should even bother about working on your programming skills, right? I mean, many of you might not even have a goal of ending up with a technical job after your engineering. Like, I'm aware many of the students are preparing for civil services, or some of them are planning for masters in, like non-technical fields like MBA or other degrees. In that case, why should you even bother about learning programming at all? What I want to tell you is, for many people, when they are already enrolled in an engineering course and they are opting for something other than engineering, the majority of the people have this motivation that their current engineering knowledge, or at least what they see the opportunities this particular engineering course can offer to them, is not adequate. They are not simply satisfied by what they can get after their 4 years of bachelor's of engineering from GEC Bhavnagar. This was indeed the case for me. It was the most important reason that I decided to go for masters, that I was not satisfied by what I was getting after my 4 years at GEC Bhavnagar. And the biggest mistake I made was about assuming that it was something on college part that was missing, and that was the reason that I could not develop the skills I should have within those 4 years. And that's why I'm not getting good opportunities, which I should like, which in general any computer engineer gets after end of the degree program. This was the biggest mistake I made, and I think many of you might also be thinking about going for appeal for GATE, go for M.Tech, or go for MS, or like do continue studying after your graduation. Of course, if you want to explore some field in detail, if you want to go for research, if you want to plan your career in academia, like you want to become a professor, or you want to become a PhD scholar, you want to work at research institutes, all these are valid reasons for going for masters. But if you think, especially this is regarding to the computer, IT, and EC branch students, that if you are planning for masters because you think that your 4 years at GEC Bhavnagar would not be adequate for you to get good career opportunities, you are wrong. You are wrong. If you are not getting any good opportunities after your 4 years of engineering at GEC Bhavnagar, it's totally on you, because you are not aware enough that what are the other learning resources are available out there, which are free, which are online, from where you can learn how you can build your technical skills, how you can make an impressive resume that can attract recruiters, and how you can land your dream job just after your graduation from GEC Bhavnagar. So let me tell you, if you are planning for masters or like any other career options, thinking that GEC Bhavnagar is not providing you with enough resources, you are wrong. You need some serious introspection about yourself, and it's fine. I was also wrong. Let me tell you that your 4 years are sufficient. Every engineering student in our country gets just, they get just 4 years, just like you. And if you compare our GTU curriculum with any other institute's curriculum, you won't find much difference. For example, in first year we learn C programming. At most of the institutes they also learn C programming. But the problem is that for those students just don't stop learning after coming out of the lecture. Their actual learning starts after they come out of a lecture. And our students just stop learning after the lecture. If you are just relying on what the instructor is teaching you in your class and what are your labs, forcing you to perform on your PC, in that case, yes, you are not going to be happy after what kind of skills you end up with at the end of your 4 years at GEC Bhavnagar. But if you are proactive about your learning, if you take the control of your learning, in that case there is nothing that can stop you from getting any good job or any career opportunities that you wish after you complete 4 years. Okay. If you are following news on how companies hire, in that case, you might be quite aware that many times, many big companies, the FANG companies, let's say Facebook, Amazon, Google, those companies as well, they also hire from tier 2 and tier 3 colleges. They simply, pick the candidate on based of their extraordinary achievements. They offer them an interview, and if the candidate performs well in the interview, they hire them. And all those candidates gets the equal kind of compensation that is provided to the students they have selected from their campus recruitment drives. So what is stopping you from getting your dream job is just how poor your technical skills are. If you have completed 4 years of your engineering, and if you cannot code, if you cannot simply code the simplest data structures, if you cannot code the most basic algorithms, and then you are complaining that I'm not getting good job, or GEC Bhavnagar does not have good placements. No, it's not college's fault. It's your fault that you did not utilize your time how you should have. Okay. Let me tell you, once you have built a strong profile, once your resume is strong enough, you don't even need to go and apply for the jobs. Each of these big companies have already hired a team of recruiters who are literally hunting for good candidates from LinkedIn, from this coding platforms, this hackathon platforms, all these places. You just need to make your profile good enough so that you become visible to this force of recruiters. Once you are visible, you are all sorted. You don't even need to go to their career portal and submit your resume. They are going to contact you. They are going to ask you and discuss the opportunity with you and check if you are interested. And if you happen to be interested, they are going to offer you an interview without even your applying for it. This has been happened to me already multiple times, that without even applying for any of these companies, I have been contacted by those recruiters, just because I have got, my resume or my profile has got some kind of visibility. And the visibility I have got is not because somewhere on my resume it's written that I am a student of DIICT. No, it's just because what kind of projects I have done, what kind of internships I have done, what kind of work I have done in general. So you don't need to be a student of any of this prestigious institute, especially if you are a computer IT or EC student, and if you are technically strong, and if you have already built a very strong portfolio of yourself, you don't even need to go and apply for jobs. Jobs will come to you, I tell you. Okay. Now the question is, how do we make this strong, visible resume or strong, visible profile? Okay. And for that, you need to do programming. There is no hiding or there is no avoiding of learning programming if you are a computer engineer, if you are IT engineer, or even if you are an EC engineer. You must know how to code. You must know all the data structures, you must know all the algorithms, you must know in which kind of problem statement which kind of solution should be suitable. Okay, I see some question. Really, this kind of idea work in IT? Yeah, it does. That's why I told you it's a focus session on IT, EC, and computer. Okay, let me continue. Where was I? Yeah, that you should be able to code all the basic data structures and algorithms. Let us say that you have already reached to a point that you have already worked on good personal projects, you have already done a good internship, you have been active on this competitive coding platforms, and you end up ultimately getting that call from the recruiter that, hey, there is an opening at our company at this particular location, this is the team, we see your skills are relevant, and we would like to offer you an interview, are you interested? Then what is between you and that job, and that job is like really super duper cool and high paying job, is just those few minutes of interview which you need to manage, and you are going to easily manage it because you have already practiced enough coding problems. Because all these interviews are programming interviews. Your first round is going to be a telephonic programming interview where you will simply be given a problem statement, go and write the code for it, and there would be an interviewer watching you, like what kind of code at which particular step you are writing for solving this particular problem. If you do it well, you go to the next round. The same thing happens again a new coding problem, you need to write the code. If you also do well in that round, you go to next round and next round and next round, and all these rounds involves coding and coding. Easy level of coding, medium level of coding, and hard level of coding. Like, interview rounds get tougher once you start clearing all the levels. But yeah, so everything between you and your dream job is just programming interviews. That's all. Okay. Now the question is how to get started with programming, right? If you are a first year student or you are a fourth year student, if you are someone who has not yet taken your programming skills seriously, in that case, I have got just one resource to share with you, and that is the 30 days of code on HackerRank. It is something that I got started with for myself, and it is designed in a very particular way that it will keep you motivated. It's a little bit of learning for every day, and you can utilize this quarantine time. And I encourage everybody to at least finish this in next 30 days. 30 days of code on HackerRank. It will introduce you with all the basic programming paradigms, like how to declare variables, how to write loops, what are the basic data structures, how to code them in this particular language, and things like that. That is your first step. If you have not yet started coding, even if you have taken courses and you have copy pasted your practical assignments during your labs, that's fine. You can always start over. This is your first step. Most of the people are confused that what the first step should be. I'm telling you, this should be your first step. If you have never written a single line of code, and if you want to get started, start from here. Okay. Once you have done that, what is the next step? The next step is you start preparing for your programming interviews, thinking that by the time you will be ready, you will be actually ending up with some company's interview already scheduled for you. And for that, I'm also sharing few links here. The first and the most common place is Gigs for Gigs. It's already, say Geeks for Geeks is the best free resource out there that you should get started with. If you don't know data structures, if you don't know algorithms, that's fine. Simply go to Geeks for Geeks practice session. Start from arrays. I would say start from arrays. And they also have different kind of difficulty levels: school level, basic level, medium level, and hard level. In all your interviews or all your online coding tests, for getting to these interviews, you will be asked questions from medium to hard level of difficulty. But you should always start from school level of difficulty. And from school level, what I mean is they will simply teach you how to take input, how to write output to the your terminal, how to store array elements, how to access it, how to iterate, how to check size. All these kind of basic things would be covered in your basic section of any particular data structure. Once you are done with it, move to easy level, then move to medium level, then move to hard level. And if you are just getting started, I would say first complete your 30 days of code. First clear the basic level of most popular data structures and algorithms before even thinking about getting started with competitive programming. Why? Because in competitive programming, as the name says, you will be given a set of problems and some amount of time, and you will be given a rank on based of how well did you do in that particular amount of time. Now suppose you are somebody who has just got started, who is who still cannot write how to traverse a linked list kind of program, and then you simply go and jumpstart with a coding contest. You will end up with a very big and very bad rank. You will not feel good about yourself. You are simply going to quit and tell that I don't want to do this. You will get demotivated in like no time. So unless you know how to do all the basic things, like how to traverse a linked list, or how to make a hash map, or in what situations you should use a hash map, or let's say how to make a tree, how to traverse a tree, how to traverse graphs, all these basic things you need to learn. And those things, and I encourage you to learn it from Geeks4Geeks, because it has good tutorials, good editorials, nice explanations, and you can also look at the submissions of other users code. It's open for all, so if you get stuck, then you can simply go and check the editorial or the code which has already been accepted. Okay, second resource is leetcode.com. Now, I personally find that LeetCode is more organized. There are no advertisements on LeetCode, and they have specially catered tracks for all the data structures or company preparations. But again, most of the features of LeetCode comes only if you have a premium account, which is costly. But again, if you want to invest on your coding skills or your interview preparations, in that case, it's worth purchasing a premium account of LeetCode. But again, don't go there unless you have cleared at least basic level on Geeks4Geeks. And other free alternative for your coding preparation would be interview bits. You might be already aware about it, and I think many of you already be knowing this, but I am specially targeting this session to the people who have no clue how to do these things. Okay, this is the third link, interviewbit.com. From here also you will find questions specific to companies, questions are targeted for particular data structure and algorithm. There are difficulty levels. They will help you to maintain your streaks, that you code consistently on every day. You code for this many hours or this many points, things like that. So do check it out, interviewbits.com. Okay, let us say you have already done the basic level of your Geeks4Geeks questions. Now you are already can perform all these things very efficiently, that how to traverse a linked list, how to do a DFS on a graph, how to do a BFS, stuff like that. In that case, it is a very good idea to get started with competitive programming. Once you are not in that struggling phase of getting started with programming, it is very difficult to stay motivated just to prepare for company interviews. In that case, enter competitive programming world, because once you are good and then you enter in the competition, you will end up with good rank. You will start getting some recognition. You will start looking at new and fresh problems. You will make connections based on this competitive coding communities, it will keep you going. And at the same time, go and continue with the medium or hard level of questions on, Geeks for Geeks or interview or lead code, that kind of website. And for competitive coding, I think everybody is already familiar with Codechef. There are a couple of more places that I want to suggest you to go and have a look. This is for the people who are already done with the basic stuff about programming. The first place is, of course, the Codechef. Second, I want you to check out codeforces.com. Again, you might be already knowing that, but there are so many people who don't know this. That's why I'm, giving all these links. And the third place is, of course, the sports.com. Okay. Okay. Okay, now look at the future picture, that you have spent 1 month of doing this 30 days of code. You have already done the basic level and the school level questions on Geeks for Geeks, and you are familiar with most of the data structures and algorithms. You have already started, participating in coding challenges on all these websites that I have listed. What next? What next is also the answer of how to get those recruiters offer you a job without you're even asking for it. And that is start participating in coding contests. Coding contests are a bigger version of this competitive coding thing, that at some particular time few problem statements or maybe just one problem statement is announced worldwide, and all the students from all the countries and all the colleges of the world at that same time try to solve the same problem. They submit their solutions and they get ranking according to how efficient is their solution, how correct is their solution, how fast they could submit it, things like that. Let me tell you, if you have been practicing your, working on your coding skills for, let's say, 1 year consistently, you can definitely do very well in this kind of coding competitions. And that is the reason why people from these big institutes do well in all these coding competitions, because they start coding from day one. I will also come to that while we talk about building student communities. But yeah, so, which coding competitions? If you are not aware, in that case, I'm going to share a few links. If you know already, good for you. The first and the most reputed is the ICPC. The second one would be the Google Code Jam. You might be knowing about this. There's one significant thing about Google Code Jam is that many people don't know is that Code Jam also has a special section for women coders. So if you are a girl student and if you are working on your programming skills, there is a special coding contest called Code Jam to IO for women. It it takes place generally 1 or 2 months before the actual Code Jam happens. This competition is for women. If you end up getting top 100 rank for your country, in that case you get a fully paid trip to attend Google I/O that generally happens in USA. So all the girls, please check out Google Code Jam to IO as well. Here is the link for that. Yeah, so that are few initial resources you should be looking at if you're getting started with programming. Again, I'm repeating this for you. Get started with 30 days of code, then go to Geeks for Geeks and practice your basic and school level of difficulty questions. Once you are done, maybe move to lead code or interview bits, or maybe continue practicing on Geeks for Geeks, because everywhere the problems are going to be the same. At the same time, get started with competitive programming, start participating in coding contests, and once you feel confident enough, start participating in this big coding contests, which are international, which can give you really nice recognition. Okay, I think we are sorted on getting started with programming part. And let me come to the building student communities part. Well, first of all, again, why do you even bother to build your student communities? right? The reason is, for any good institute, it's 50% what resources the faculties provide, how well they conduct the lectures, what are the lab facilities, what kind of courses are they offering, what is their examination method, what kind of companies they bring for placement. All these things makes just 50% of a good institute. The remaining 50% is the student community. The student What student community does is that it creates this culture of excellence, and by excellence I mean that whoever fresher is entering your campus will enter to this culture of your college. For example, DIICT has a appreciably well coding culture. Their freshman students, like the first year students, from day one, they get orientations from the programming clubs. Whatever links I shared with you right now, maybe you are in fourth year and maybe you are seeing this for the first time. That can be the case for few people, but it is never the case for a student at DIICT or any other good institutes where they have a proper functioning programming club. When you have programming club, you also do workshops on, let's say, how to program in C++, how to program in Java, how to program in Python. You also find people from your campus only who can guide you which language to choose, which language to avoid, which website to give more preference when you are spending your time coding, which are the coding competitions that you should be looking into, things like that. For this, you don't need to even go for and do a Google search. You will have some bhaiya or didi in your college itself who is going to help you, who is going to sit with you, help you with the coding problem, help you with, if you are not feeling motivated enough, तो वो pep talk भी ये भैया दे दे से, stuff like that. Okay. Um, Okay, before I continue, let me have a look at the comment section. So, if there is anything related to programming, I want to take up right now. How to prepare? This is question from Jill. How to prepare for myself for coding competitions like Kickstart? Right, Jill, once you know all the basic data structures and algorithms, start participating in ongoing daily coding challenges on platforms like Codechef. Once you have participated, let's say, in at least one app, for example, May long challenge is ongoing right now on Codechef. So once you have participated in it, you will be well versed with, with the format of coding competition, how you can get all, like, what when you get time limit exceeded error, when you get this kind of error, how to navigate it and stuff like that. And then you should be good to get started with things like Kickstart. Okay. Ma'am, okay, this is Muskan Bharucha. Ma'am, can you say anything about cracking the coding interview by Gail Lackman? Yeah, Muskan, cracking the coding interview by Gail is one of the best books. I'm personally referring to it for my interviews. That is the one of the best resource out there for preparing the coding interviews. It tells you how to approach a problem, how to think logically, which particular problem can be solved with using which data structure and stuff like that. You can also find online free editions for this book, if I'm not correct. Otherwise, you can go and purchase a hard copy. It's not that costly and definitely worth every penny you spend on it. Okay, there is Hussein Ali Bimani. Session should be also conducted by who have failed miserably after engineering. They know what not to do in life, which is equally important. Yes, and I totally agree with you on this. And in fact, I plan to share few failure stories of mine as well. Okay. Nidhi has this question that what difference have you noticed in the teaching and study load structure of DIICT and GEC? How is it different? Let me tell you upfront, Nidhi and everybody else, that course load or like study load is way more on DIICT students than what we, put on our GEC students. Like I personally had a lot of free time when I was at GEC. I ended up doing all kind of non-academic things like swimming, music, karate, and things. But at DIICT, I'm not telling that they don't get time to do all these things, but genuinely their course structure, their academics are more intense than what we see at GEC Bhavnagar, and I think that is a good thing for about DIICT. Can you share your experience in PIC Bangalore? Of course, I can. You can reach out to me personally for this question, but I will not be discussing it because it's not relevant to our session right now. Okay. Nidhi has this question. As far as tech communities are concerned, which are run by students, is it more active in DIICT than GEC? Yes, definitely. I'm going to talk about it. What communities are run at DIICT, and which are definitely not present at our GEC Bhavnagar. How does it help you expect? Accept learning coding. Yeah, I will be talking about it pretty soon. Another question from Muskan is, how can student be convinced for joining clubs? In my college, it was difficult. Again, I'll be addressing this in this second part of building student communities, and I think that are all the comments for now. Okay, now let me come to building student communities. And again, I don't want to talk very abstractly. I want to give you proper points to get started, proper action points. Which student communities I'm talking about? See, first of all, is maybe one of you can randomly take leadership and sit one day with your batchmates that we want to start doing this kind of activities. We want to start doing this kind of programming workshops, this kind of other technical workshops, and you can get started in that way. Of course you can, but it won't be very efficient, because it would be like, for example, person XYZ is taking this leadership, then it will matter a lot on how much your batchmate trusts this person XYZ. And there would be also some questions of about what is the motivation of XYZ person for doing it, and why only XYZ person should be doing it at not some ABC person. I would say avoid that. Definitely avoid that. What I want to give you as action step is the communities run by the software companies who provide you and who encourage you to bring their local chapters to yours, to your campuses. And in this case, the selection of who is going to lead the chapter is done by their teams, their engineers, their community partners. So it's not going to be person XYZ is took the initiative and that's why he is a leader, and ABC did not, so that's why he or she is not the leader. It is simply going to be like, if XYZ is interested, he can go and fill out the form to be a chapter lead for this thing. And if the person is having strong background, strong profile, if he or she could convince this community team of this particular club, in that case they will get the permit and they can establish the club uh, at GEC Bhavnagar. Okay. Again, I don't want to speak vaguely. In that case, I want to give you proper action steps, and that's why I have got a few links to share with you here, and I want each one of you to check out this. And if you think you have got the guts for bringing this thing to our college, go for it. The first thing is GitHub Campus Experts. Now, GitHub is actively investing a lot in its Indian community, especially Indian student community. I could meet GitHub's chief open source officer Erica at Open Source Summit Europe, and we have been discussing about it. After that conference, Erica herself personally visited India. She visited many cities of India, interacted with many student chapter leads, and they are actively working on bringing more resources for Indian student community. GitHub Campus Experts is definitely one thing that we should bring to GEC Bhavnagar. You will find all kind of details, how to do it, who can do it, who cannot do it, and stuff from this link. Second is, of course, the Developer Students Club. Here is the link you can check out regarding this. It's a Google's developer initiative. So it's a Google Developer Students Club. I am part of this club at DIICT. So you get all the support from Google. Of course, when you have this club established and you're trying for bringing people from industry to conduct session for you, if you're when you're trying for arranging events, just because it's a well recognized club and you're doing some activity as part of this club, things get pretty easier for you. So definitely go check out Bring Google Developer Students Club to GEC Bhavnagar. The third link I've got for you to have a look is the Microsoft Students Partner. So similarly, GitHub has this GitHub Campus Expert. Microsoft has Microsoft Student Partner. So once somebody is selected from our college as Microsoft Student Partner, you can form a Microsoft Student Club. You can take the initiative and organize many technical skill development activities under this club. Okay, next two things uh, are the ACM Student Chapter and IEEE Student Wing. So if you are aware, ACM Turing Award, if you have ever heard of this thing, how Nobel Prize is the highest honor for anybody in scientific community. Similarly, ACM Turing Award is the equivalent of Nobel Prize for computer science thing. Okay. So ACM is the community that manages it. And if you bring ACM student chapter for GEC Bhavnagar, that would be something really, really remarkable. It will help our students to get started with research. It will help us to connect with the other student chapters which are being, which are running in other colleges. Similarly, for IEEE, this would be the same case. And yeah, under IEEE student branch, you can also organize many activities. You can also look for funding and trainers and stuff like that. There's a lot of things that can be done under both of these things, ACM student chapter and IEEE student wing. So just go and have a look at it. And now the last thing I want to ask you to have a look is the Girls Script chapter. So, if you know already, Girls Script is a startup, and Anuba Maneshwar is the girl who has started it. I have been fortunate enough to meet her personally when I was at Hyderabad. And Girls Script is doing very good job for training the students of Tier 2 and Tier 3 engineering colleges. They are actively working on bridging this technical knowledge gap, training the students for being skilled enough to get good career opportunities and things like that. I would suggest your first action step should be bring this Girls Script chapter to our college. Second thing should be go and bring GitHub Campus Expert and Microsoft Student Partners. And then, of course, yeah, Google Developer Club as well. Once these things are under progress, I would suggest as the second step, you go for ACM and IEEE student wings. Okay. And again, I don't want just one person to go and do it. Maybe sit together one day or maybe do a virtual meeting kind of thing. Identify the people who are having good technical skill already amongst yourself, who have got some good leadership skills, who have already got some good accomplishments like good internships or research papers or good coding experience and things like that, and persuade these people to take leadership for this kind of things. It will make the process faster, and the chances of all these communities granting us a student chapter will increase if we are proposing somebody who is technically strong in a leadership role. Please don't do it like just one person is doing all these things. No, these all are different student branch. And I would encourage that you decide amongst yourself and approach to each of this community, different person for different community kind of thing. It will help you, like, there would be, let's say, if we are bringing all these things to our campus, there would be 6 leaders, and it's a good thing We don't want just one person to be leader of all the things. Okay. Um, yeah, two last resources I want to share. This one is specifically for the girl students. This is Google Women Techmaker Scholarship. You can get a 1,000 US dollars of scholarship if you get selected as a woman techmaker scholar. So definitely go and have a look at it. And this one is an opportunity for girls as well as boys, and that is Venkat Panch Prakashan Memorial Scholarship. It is also awarded by Google, and you can get 750 US dollars to cover your educational expenses from this scholarship. Okay, I think I have shared all the resources that I want all of you to have a look at. And I'm also 45 minutes past the session, so let us start with our Q&A session now. Okay, let me check if I already have some comments that I have skipped. Okay, do GTU examination marks really matter? Jill, unfortunately, yes, your CGPA will matter. Now, why this will matter that I'm telling you? See, when companies hire from good colleges, it is because they trust that this college is producing good engineers. Okay, and in that case, they are simply going to set the bar at, let's say, 7 CGPA, and everybody having CGPA above 7 can participate in that process. But colleges like ours, which is still under development phase, it is not as recognized as these big fancy institutes. So if you are from this college, and so it's like you are from a college which is not that recognized, and also you have a very shitty CGPA, I am not going to trust you uh, because at least your CGPA should be good. But at the same time, if you got some really good technical accomplishment, in that case, I might overlook your bad CGPA, but it would be a personal choice. Okay, so try to maintain a decent CGPA. I'm not asking you to, score 10 out of 10, but it should be 8 plus. Definitely, it should be 8 plus for you to be considered seriously by the recruiter. Okay. Um, Anyone else has any question? You can post in the comment section here, and I'll be taking them one by one. Any other questions? Seriously? No questions. We had a professor who used to tell this, that if you don't ask anything, that means you have grasped everything or you didn't understand anything at all. So, what should I assume? Seriously? No questions at all? Okay. We have still got like some 11 minutes left for the session. Um, okay. The very last thing I want to discuss is that how you can utilize your connections with your alumni, what to do and what not to do. And I will start with what not to do, because many of you are being, I don't want to use any harsh words here, but some of you are being really irrespectful, disrespectful towards the alumni who are actually doing some great work with this session. Also, many of you are really, maybe you don't know how to communicate with someone, or maybe you don't know what is the right way to talk to somebody. But just let me tell you, your alumni are not somebody with whom you do trash talking. Okay, these are very important professional network, professional connection. They can help you land your job. They can help you with your referrals. They can help you building your technical skills. They can help you connect with the right people. They can share your experiences and you can learn from them. But for that, the first thing you need to understand is what and how to talk to your alumni and how not to do it. For example, LinkedIn is not Facebook. You don't send friendship requests on LinkedIn. You send professional network requests to LinkedIn. So if unless you have something really, technical something to ask to the senior, don't do trash talking over LinkedIn conversations. Please don't do it. It will simply make the senior to avoid your messages as well as everybody who is approaching from GEC to them. Please don't do it. Okay. There is one question from Dhananjay Singh Gohil. Can you explain the importance of student communities more? Okay. Um, I will again take an example of DIICT. DIICT has got IEEE student branch, it has got developer student stuff, it has got Microsoft student clubs. Okay, these three are very active and efficiently functioning clubs. So what happens is student after their academic commitments, they spend time either as member of these clubs or as participants in activities organized by this club. Okay, they also have a very good programming club. So, for example, for our GEC, I am somebody who has completed the graduation 3 years before, and I'm coming back, and I need to tell you this that you should be coding. These are the websites you should be looking into. These are the competitions you should be participating into. It If you have a proper functioning programming club in our college itself, these things will be obvious. It will be established as default. Everybody will start doing it. And what is the current scenario we are having is that just one or two good students come out of a batch. We can change the entire picture that since first year of college, entire class of 60 to 80 is aware that they should be programming. They start programming right away from the first year, and after 1 year of practice they are really good. They start participating in this programming contest. They start getting visibility. They end up getting interview calls, and ultimately they end up cracking those interviews. And then we have few GEC Bhavnagar alumni working at this big companies, all the fine companies. That happened for one batch, that happened for the next batch. After a few years, it would be that there are 10 to 15 people from GEC Bhavnagar, let's say, working from Google, working for Google. Now, what this means is that now Google recruitment team has got recognition for GEC Bhavnagar. When the next student from GEC Bhavnagar is going to apply for Google or let's say any other company, GEC Bhavnagar will not be that strange name that it is today, and it will make it easier for our juniors. Okay. Ashish Sarvaya sir is saying motivate them not to quit but start this type of chapters. Okay, I'm not quite sure we already have these chapters, but yeah. See, starting these chapters is not going to be easy. Few of you will also and face some rejections, that your application did not get accepted in first go, or you could not clear the interview and things like that. But that's fine. Don't get disheartened by all of these things, because again, change is a messy process. You need to fail a few times in order to succeed. You learn from your failures. Once your application is, let's say, rejected, apply again, apply in a better way. And there is no way somebody is not going to grant you a chapter leadership. If you are genuinely interested, you have got all the required skills. If you are not getting the permit from these communities, that means you need to work little more on yourself before you approach for this leadership things. In that case, maybe take 1 more year and apply next year, or maybe take 6 months and work more on your technical skills, maybe work more on some personal projects, get some recognition, then apply again. But don't quit until we have all these chapters in GEC Bhavnagar. It is possible that we can have all of these things functioning very well, very efficiently, and we are getting benefit from all these things. But the question is, Are there enough motivated students in current batches who are willing to take up this challenge and work for it? Okay. Dhruval Thakkar has this question that are there any organizations like IEEE which are helpful for hard branches in any case like a student club? Dhruval, I'm sorry, I don't know. Okay, this is something you should ask to Google web search, or maybe your friends from colleges like NITs and IITs, where they all have hard branches, and there should be something. Of course, I'm confident there should be something, but I don't know. Okay, Jay Nathani, any internship program that is available during this lockdown? Um, It is May 2nd. Google Summer of Code would be starting in May. Outreachy would be starting in May. All the Summer of Code would be starting in May. And it is generally going to run till August, all these programs. But the application period for all of these programs have been passed way before in February. So, not any of the Summer of Code programs. But yeah, look up to Internshala, LinkedIn, Glassdoor, the places where you go for your job search, internship search, and I think you should find something. But you should search for it. Okay, this is something you better ask on these platforms. Okay, any other question? What kind of activities we want to do under these clubs once we bring them? Any such thing? Okay. Well, we have last 3 minutes left, and I want you all to live with this last thought, and it is that I before starting these sessions, I talked with few of the currently enrolled students, and I learned that some highest package we could get for the current batch is below 5 lakh rupees per annum. Okay, and let me tell you that the highest package for DIICT, as they proudly showcase on their website, is 40 plus lakh rupees. If you look at to some IITs and good NITs, it would be even more than that. We are quite aware that people end up getting offers more than 1 crore. The software engineers, they are getting paid even this big amounts. Remember, you and all the students have got equal opportunity, especially everybody enrolled in CS IT EC branch. You all have equal opportunity. Companies do hire from their placement drive, as well as they hire off campus, as well as they have entire team of recruiters looking for talent to hire. Okay, if you are not able to utilize your 4 years well, and you are ending up with something so low as, let's say, 5,000, 10,000 rupees per month kind of job, it's your fault. You had 4 entire years, the same 4 years an IITian got, the same 4 years a DIICT student got, the same 4 years an NIT student got. You are a computer IT EC soft branch student. All the resources are available for free and online. There are thousand kind of platforms who are doing this talent search or talent evaluation kind of thing. Let it be hackathons, let it be the summer of code kind of internships, let it be this coding competitions. There are so many things like this going on online for free. All you need to do is show up, prepare yourself, and do well at those things. And as I told you, if you are skilled enough, you don't even need to go and apply for a job. The recruiters are going to come to you. So yeah, don't settle for 5,000, 10,000 rupees salaries. And more importantly, don't settle for the skill set that earns you just that. You are an engineer. You should be proud. You should be, you are supposed to be extraordinary. You are an engineer. Come on. Computers are powering the world. You are a computer engineer. You are an IT engineer. You should be extraordinarily skilled. You should be getting the maximum possible wages that are available to in software industries. And if you are settling for less, it's your loss. Don't settle for less. That's all I want to leave you with. And I think I'm going to end the session now. But wait, there is one more question. Is there any programming language that you think it should be must known to students for real life projects? C++, Java, Python, any of this, if you know just one of them well, you are sorted. All kind of work can be done using any of these programming languages, but you should be really good at least one of them. Okay, I think I'm done. Thank you for attending the session. Thank you for attending all other sessions of Alumni Connect. I hope I could share something useful with you. You can always reach out to me via my personal email address, my LinkedIn account, or any other social media platforms. But just don't drop hi or any trash talk kind of thing. I will not be replying, and any other senior is not going to be replying. If you have some technical problem, doubt, you need guidance, seek help, any kind of these things, all of us would be more than happy. But always remember, all the alumni are busy people, they all have their full-time jobs, they have other social, economical responsibilities. So be patient, be respectful, and know the courtesies of professional communication. Okay, have a nice day. Bye.